Hi, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever part of the world you're watching me from. I'm very excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're here, you're welcome. If you're here live, you're welcome. And if you're catching this on a replay, you're also welcome. You may want to drop something in the comments so that I know that you are here. Okay? I'm very happy to get your feedbacks, your contributions, and your questions as we go along. All right? So today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. Okay? A very, very interesting topic. What has communication got to do with sex? All right? What has communication got to do with sex? Okay? Before we proceed, let me just give me 1 second. Let's just okay. All right, that's fine. So thank you once again for being here. My name is Temitayo Ogunaike. I'm the founder of this community, Couple Connect, which is for intentional husbands and wives to boost intimacy and genuine happiness in marriage, in their marriage. All right. So if you are in that category, then you are in the right place. All right. Today we're going to be talking about what sex has got to do with communication, or rather what communication has got to do with sex, right? There are two sides of the same coin. Okay. And to start with, I would like to say that, communication has everything to do with sex. Okay, remember the topic is what communication has got to do with sex, right? And to start with, I'm saying that communication has everything to do with sex. Communication has everything to do with sex. First off, a couple that is not communicating well, right? A couple that is not communicating well, or that is not communicating effectively, or not enjoying communication, right, cannot actually enjoy a pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex. So if I'm talking about sex today, I'm not just talking about sex in its general form. I'm talking about pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex. All right, and that is a code that I give that an acronym, which is PAMS, PAMSS. That is pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex. All right. So a couple that is not communicating well, that is not communicating effectively, a couple that hardly talks, a couple that cannot share their vulnerability. Hi, Prince Will, Chegbu, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. How are you doing today? Okay. So a couple that is not communicating well cannot enjoy a pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex. So if you are not talking, or maybe you're not talking enough, or if you are not vulnerable with each other, you're not transparent with each other, you're not open to each other, there is no friendship between the both of you, then it will be difficult to actually enjoy a pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex. So like I said earlier, I'm not just talking about sex, I'm talking about a pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex, because you can have sex and it may not be pleasurable, it may not be mutually satisfying, right? And if you're in marriage, sex should be mutually pleasurable. Sex is not just for one party, it is for the both of you. It is for both the husband and the wife. All right, it's for both the husband and the wife. So contrary to popular opinion that men need sex, or sex is food for men and all of that, I think that women also need sex. So it is for both parties, and so that is why pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex is of importance, is paramount. So one-sided pleasure is not it at all. So if you are married, you need to ensure that you are both on the same page. You are not just the one enjoying sex, right? Your partner is also enjoying sex. And of course, if you are not even talking, if you're not communicating, how would you know that your partner is not enjoying sex, right? I'm sure that you have heard, cases where, you just, the wife will just be on the bed and, okay, just do what you have to do and just, get off. All right, do what you have to do and get off, right? And we have cases where such men or such husbands do not even probe further to know the reason behind such statements, or to know the reason behind such attitudes or moods, or dissatisfaction sexually. And sadly, sexual dissatisfaction is ranks tops as one of the major causes of divorce. Okay, major causes of problems in marriages, major causes of separation, major causes of problems in marriage. So the point here is that one-sided pleasure is not it. It should be mutually pleasurable and mutually satisfying. All right. So, and how do you know it is pleasurable or not if you do not communicate? So you see where communication comes in. You need to be able to talk about sex. There are some people that I have worked with that they cannot even have the conversation. They can't even have the conversation with each other. And that is it's happening in marriages, and it's people don't even want to talk about this. All right? People don't even want to talk about this. And so this is where also religion comes in. Religion as make people hide fantasies. They are fantasies, sexual fantasies. All right? And so it is important that you communicate. It is important that you communicate. And how do you communicate if you do not even know how to? All right. So communication is not just about talking. There was a day, I think it was yesterday, I shared something about, I think it was our Communication Wednesday, when I shared about what about communication is a struggle, is a struggle for most couples. And somebody made mention of body language, right? And I asked her to explain further, how do you mean when you say body language? And she said, in a case where the woman is angry, and she needs something, and she's just using her body to talk, right? But the man is ignoring, the husband is actually ignoring and not noticing. Okay. And this happens a lot in marriages. This happens a lot. So communication, I'm just trying to say that communication is not just verbal communication. Communication is not just talking as I am talking now. So as I am talking with you, there's a lot that is going on. There's eye contact, right? There's eye contact. There is I'm expressing, I'm gesticulating, I'm trying to carry you along, right? So there's a whole lot. There's a psychology behind communication, and it needs to be understood if you must enjoy your marriage, not even just the sexual aspect, right? So if you must enjoy marriage in its totality, your communication must be right. And if your communication is right, I bet you your sexual intimacy or your sexual game in that marriage would be right. Okay, so I'm not even here talking about problems associated with sex, right? Maybe cases where we have men who are impotent, or we have men who have delayed ejaculation or premature ejaculation, or women who have arousal disorder and all of that. I'm not even yet talking about that, because even when those problems exist, if there is communication, it can be easily surmounted. All right, if there is communication, it can be easily surmounted. And when I'm talking about communication, I'm not just talking about talking, like I said, and I'm not just talking about one-off communication. It has to be consistent. It has to be open. It has to be an everyday, frequent communication. All right, and so couples need to ensure that their communication is on point. All right, so like I said, you cannot know if you do not if you do not communicate. You cannot know where exactly your partner is not enjoying sex. Okay, and so there, like I said earlier, there are many fantasies that are hidden because of several issues or several factors, such as religion, such as culture, such as timidity, such as ego. All right. And so, if I want to even pick all of these one after the other, I don't know if we'll be able to finish this live video today. All right. So there are many, like for example, if I want to talk about timidity, we have cases where, there is fear, there is shyness. Okay, there is shyness, and fortunately or unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, right? Religion has made it look like sex is a sin in marriage, right? Sex is a bad thing. Culture, the same thing, has made it look like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So timidity, we have shyness. We have couples who have been married long, 10 years, over 10 years, 15 years, 17 years, 18 years, over 20 years, and they cannot still freely have sex with each other. They cannot. It's more or less like a duty. Right? There's no pleasure. There was a time I shared a post in this community and I was talking about different types of sex, right? It's also in one of my resources, and that's the cruise to Cloud 9. Okay? And I talked about sorry, I lost my thoughts now. So I was talking about, if you're here, please let me know what I was saying. All right? And so that's communication. All right? So in that book, I talked about, okay, I'll come back to that. I just lost my thoughts, okay? So I was talking about shyness, different types of sex, yes, propelled by religion, great. So different types of sex. So we talked about, duty sex, right? We talked about spontaneous sex, right? And that's where we have quickies, and we talked about there are, I think, about 3 or 4 more. All right. And so it is very, very important that you understand the challenges that surround your sexual life in marriage. Okay, understand the challenges and begin to deal with them. Even if it means that you have to go to a sexual therapist, even if it means that you have to seek help, even if it means that you have to learn or read something. Okay, you need to do that, so that there's a way that sex, pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex, puts you and your partner on the same page. Right? It puts you and your partner, there's this bond. It's like a glue. All right? It's like a glue. Okay? So, I've talked about why communication is important, and I've talked about the fact that sex should not just be a one-sided affair. It should not just be the man that is enjoying it. It should not just be the woman that is enjoying it. All right? It should be both parties. And if there are hindrances to you enjoying the sex, you should pay attention and begin to work on it. All right? And I've also talked about the fact that you need to communicate. All right? If you do not communicate, there is no how you can know where your partner is enjoying the sex and where he or she is not enjoying the sex. All right? And of course, like I said again, I've talked about fantasies, that many fantasies are hidden. All right? And when I'm talking about fantasies, right, I'm talking about, you just want to be in the arms of your partner, unashamed. You express, you experiment. Okay? You experiment. Sometimes we don't even, another point is that sometimes we have not even understood our body parts. You don't even know your body parts. You have not even looked, into your body to see where even this penis gets into. All right? You have not looked into your body part to see where you're even putting this penis into. All right? And so, these are the factors. These are the things. Once you're able to understand your body, how your body responds, then you're upping your sexual game in that marriage. Okay? So you need to understand your body. Understand how your body works. Understand what turns your partner on. Okay? Understand, like in some cases, right? Like I think I even shared here some weeks back, and I said that sex is beyond a whole lot beyond penetration. It is not even just about penetration, right? So penetration is more or less like the last phase, but before the penetration there is the foreplay. All right, before the penetration there is the foreplay. There's a way that you can caress your partner. right? And your partner, gets aroused and even attains orgasm even before you penetrate, before you thrust, before you penetrate, right? So it is very, very, very important that you understand how first of all, understand your own body. Then secondly, understand how your partner, responds. Okay, so this is so important. But if you are not talking, if you're not communicating, if you see sex as bad, if you see it as it's something to be shy about, there is no how you would enjoy it. There is no how you would enjoy it. So you should be with your partner, expressing your fantasies, all right? Expressing your fantasies, experimenting with your body, right? At doing different positions, not just the man on top or woman on top. There are many other positions. I'm not even saying, go and break your back and everything, but I'm saying experiment with each other. Experiment with your partner. Okay? Experiment with your partner. There is no how you can learn how to if you do not actually do it. Okay, so it is very, very important, and that's why infidelity is on the increase. Thank you so much, Prince Will. Thank you for the highlights. I really appreciate this. Yeah, understanding your body part is key to a romantic sexual communication. Yes, absolutely. Shyness propelled by religion and culture. Yes, thank you so much for the highlights. All right, so it is very, very important that I was saying that infidelity is now even on the increase. Infidelity is on the increase because of some of these factors. When you're not enjoying it at home, so we have some couples who now want to experiment outside, and that is not called for. It shouldn't be called for. All right, and that's why as a couple you need to keep communicating. You need to keep appraising your relationship. You need to keep developing yourself. You need to keep growing. You need to keep evolving as a couple. All right. So we have timidity, we have ego, some are egoistic. They feel that, the woman should not be on top, or the woman, in fact, I've had a case where, the woman was trying to come out of her comfort zone. She was trying to, just do something different. And the husband was like, where is all of this coming from? What have you started watching? Who is teaching you all of these? All right. And, he wasn't open to it at all. So these are part of the issues. There are many issues, there are many issues surrounding sex that we need to start talking about. We need to start talking about and finding solutions to them. All right. Some also believe that, in fact, I had a case where the lady believes that, it's the man's responsibility to initiate. It's not our responsibility at all to initiate. So if he doesn't initiate, then it's all good. She's fine. No sex. All right. So these are part of the things. I know that yes, culture, has affected us in such a way that we tend to leave the initiating for our husbands. All right. But if you must have men also want to feel wanted. All right, men also like it. All right, recently I initiated, and my husband was like, okay, that's it's been a while I initiated though. I was like, what do you mean? Do you understand? So you need to see they are also happy when we initiate as wives. All right, so it is so important. There's a whole lot. It's not just about the men. It's not just about the men. It's a two-sided thing, and it has to be mutual. All right, it has to be mutual. So if you want your wife also to be able to release herself, totally, then you need to, penetrate through communication. You need to penetrate not just through your penis, but through communication. All right, so you need to communicate with her even before you get to the bedroom or wherever you have your sex. right? You need to start communicating with her. Get to know what is up with her. Get to know how she's really, really doing. Check up on her. Help her out if you need to help her out at home. If she's stressed, try as much as possible to relieve her. All right? And this also, the wife should also do same for her husband, and the husband should also do same for the wife, because you are one. Once you have decided to get married, you are now one. So whatever affects your wife should affect you, and whatever affects your husband should also affect you. Okay? So there is no boundary, there is no limit. So long as you are married, you can explore as much as possible. You can explore. And that's why, cases of side chicks, baby mamas and all of that are now coming up. Even molestation, even we have religious leaders who are also going through all of these. Okay? So if you're not talking, if you're not communicating in the house, then it may be difficult to really, really, have a good, sexual life. All right. So I'll just quickly share a few points and then we'll wrap this up. Okay. So I want to share, and the first thing I want to let you know is that you need to revive your friendship. Revive your friendship, because it's easier to communicate with who you are friends with. All right? So if I'm not your friend, if we're not friends, it may be difficult to communicate. And so that's why before you get married, you need to build friendship with your partner. Build friendship. Talk about, if you cannot talk, if you are not comfortable sharing certain things with that person, then it's better to hold on. Honestly, it is better to hold on. So please, as much as possible, revive your friendship. That is the first place to start. Revive your friendship. And peradventure you started your marriage, without this friendship in place, you can start all over. You can start all over. You can start all over. Start all over by working with a coach. By working with a coach. And of course, why am I here? If not to serve you. All right? So you can start all over. It is never too late. It is never too late to get it right. All right? So the first thing is revive your friendship. Revive your friendship, because it's easier to communicate with who you are friends with. Secondly, is that you need to learn about communication. You need to learn about the communication language of your partner. How does your partner receive communication? Because if I'm sharing, for example, that's why, I is one of the reasons I do this video training, because some people are not auditory, they are visual, so they like to see. Right? They're visually, just like a woman is more, auditory. Women are more, they are moved by what they hear, while the men are moved by, what they see. All right. Of course, there are also exceptions to all of these. Okay. So it is important that you understand how your partner likes to receive communication. Okay, understand it and don't see it as weird. There's somebody that was sharing with me and said that my husband just likes chatting. When I even call, he doesn't really respond as much as I don't really like chatting. And so what do I do? All right, and so this is it. That's marriage. That's marriage. You break ground here, you come to a compromise, a meeting point, you sacrifice, because now it's no longer about you. If it was just about you, then you would have remained single. Now it's about another person and yourself. Okay, so it's the first mind. In fact, I shared it in my book Start Right, talking about mindset. You need to have a service mindset. If you're not ready to serve, then it's better you remain single. Okay, so understand the way your husband or your wife likes to receive communication, and you would be able to know this, when you observe the way he or she also communicates with you. That is one of the secrets. Once you see that this person always calls, then you will know that okay, I think this is a pointer or a signal to, trying to tell me how he or she likes to be communicated with. All right. For example, I'm more auditory. Yes, I'm visual, but I am more auditory. I like to hear. Okay, so I prefer phone call than chatting. Even though I can chat, but I still prefer phone call than chatting. All right, and so, but my partner, he likes phone call as well, but he prefers, he responds faster with chatting. That's the word now. He responds faster with chatting. Okay, and so if you don't understand this and you're speaking another language, then you will keep having problems. You will keep facing a brick wall in your relationship, in your communication style. So you need to understand the language of your partner and speak that language. The same thing to sex. The same thing with sex. What is the sexual language of your partner? How does the way your partner likes it? How does your partner like it? Even if you're not used to it, you can learn. And that's what marriage is all about. We learn. It's not for perfect people. I'm not perfect. We're not all perfect. But we keep learning on a day. The thing is, you must not remain stagnant. You must keep learning. You must keep learning every day and growing every day. So I don't even claim to know it all. Right? I don't claim to know it all. I also have my challenges. Okay? However, we need to learn. We need to keep learning. So if you need to learn about communication and you need to learn about sex. Like I said earlier, communication is beyond talking. There is body language. There is non-verbal communication. And of course, if you're not, you need to be able to listen. You need to be able to understand. You need to be able to respond appropriately. And of course, in between all of these, there is emotional intelligence. Because if you do not have emotional intelligence, you may not be able to even communicate effectively. So you see that there's a whole lot to learn. And there's a portion in the scripture that says, many perish for lack of knowledge. And same as marriages, many marriages are perishing today for lack of knowledge. That issue that you're looking at is so big. I'm telling you, it may just be one knowledge that you need to gain, and you would be able to surmount that challenge. So it is very, very important. Very, very important. All right. So the third thing I would say is that you need to communicate. Once you have started learning, then you now need to start practicing, because it's not enough to learn. It's not enough to watch me here. It's not enough to read what I post here, but you need to practice. You need to what? Practice. You need to practice. And of course, it's by practicing that you get better. Practice makes progress. One of my mentors will say, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes progress. And the fourth thing is that you need to understand your body. Understand your body, and I think I mentioned it earlier. Understand your body and how it responds. Do the same for your partner. Understand your body and how it responds. Okay? So as a husband, you can, of course, start with foreplay. Caress your wife's breast. Fondle with her breast. Ask her, how does she like it? How does she want it? And wife, be open to share it. Be open. If your husband is too hard, then you need to be able to say, take it easy. I think I like it hard. I like it soft. Okay? So that's it. You need to be able to talk. You need to be able to communicate if you want to enjoy, sex in marriage. To understand your body and how it responds. Understand the timing. There are some times that your body just wants to, relax. Nothing, just wants to rest. Okay? So it is very, very, very important. And the more we understand each other in marriage, the more we would enjoy marriage. Because it's all about understanding. Once I understand you, you understand me, we understand our differences, and then we begin to accept each other and learn to live with each other. All right? The second to the last thing is that you need to be selfless. All right? You need to be selfless and not selfish. It's not just only when you want it. We have cases where, it's only when, the man wants the sex that it comes around the woman. So outside sex, the woman does not matter. After sex, his wife does not matter. Alright? But when it's time for sex, you will see him around. So, but you need to be intentional. Because a woman is easily stimulated by what she hears. And this also brings us back to communication during, before, during, and after sex. And this is where I'm going to wrap it off. Right? Communication before, during, and after sex. So of course, you can tease your partner before sex. You can tease your partner. So let me give you a three, like a model. I call it TMA. So tease, moan, and appraise. Tease, moan, and appraise. So you can tease your partner before sex. All right. There was a day I was like, you self. When last did you even try this? When last did you even do this? Do you understand? Just tease around it, and have fun. You're in a marriage. I mean, you should have fun, because being in marriage is too long to say you want to, just endure. It's too long, and that's why I said that you must be friends. If you want to enjoy your marriage, you must be friends. So tease your partner, and then of course during sex, don't just keep quiet. If you're enjoying it, make some sounds that would let your partner know that you're enjoying it. Alright? So don't just keep quiet, because sometimes even the noise, even the moaning is a turn on for your partner. And of course, how would you know this if you are not talking? So that's why I said that it is important that you communicate. If you get your communication right, then your sex game in that marriage would be right. So practice talking before, during, and after sex. Hi Jacqueline, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. How are you today? Okay. You may want to watch the replay because we've gone far. So practice talking before, during, and after sex. So during sex, you talk. It's not just to climb on you and just have sex and climb out and just go again. No. We are not robots. Your wife is not a robot. Your husband is not a robot. Okay? And then of course, after sex, after sex, you also need to talk. Okay? After sex, you also need to talk. There's a practice we have in my home. After sex, we talk. How did you enjoy it? What did you like? What did you not enjoy? So that the next one can be better. That's how it should be. And if you're not experiencing this, then you need to begin to work on it. Marriage is too long a time to be in, to be unhappy, to be bored, I don't know if you get what I mean. So you need to communicate. Communication is important. All right? Communication is important. Doing great. All right. That's good to know. Okay? So you need to appraise. Did you enjoy it? What would you want me to do better? What would you want me to do better? Did I ejaculate too fast? Did I come into? In fact, when your wife is enjoying sex, you would even know when you need to come in, when you need to penetrate with your penis. You would know. Some people do not even wait for their wives to get wet. You just like that. And then it's painful for some. All right? So these are the things, these are the issues that we need to start talking about. Sex should not just be, it should not be boring. Sexual struggles in marriage should be overcome. And of course, what we are making mention, what we're talking about today is communication. What has communication got to do with sex? So I believe that you've been able to see the role of communication in enjoying sex, in enjoying a pleasurable and mutually satisfying sex, not just a one-sided sex. All right? So you need to practice TMA model, that is tease, moan, and appraise. Tease your partner. I mean, if you don't tease your partner, who else would you tease? And that's why I said friendship. Friendship is so paramount. You need to revive your friendship. And if the friendship was not existing before you got married, you can start all over. You can start all over. It is not too late. Right? Exhaust all your options before you say, my marriage is not working, my relationship is not working. Exhaust all your options. Exhaust all your options. Sometimes it may just even be that you are stressed. Sometimes it may just be that you need to relax. You need to just go on a vacation. And then you come back revived and, all right? So I hope that this has, shed more light on how communication can really, really enhance your sexual intimacy. And like I said, you need to learn about communication. I have a resource on communication, and it is the 21 days communication journal. It would help you a whole lot, because communication, like I said, is not just about talking. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot that goes with your background, your experiences affect how you communicate. All right? Your background, your experiences, your upbringing, your personality, your temperament affect how you communicate. And so you need to go through this worksheet so that you can learn more about how to communicate and get results in your marriage. And I also have the Cruise to Cloud 9, and that is like a sex manual. All right? A sex manual. You need to learn about it. There's so many things that you would learn about. All right? So if you are interested in any of those resources or both resources, you can send a message to my WhatsApp. All right? You can send a message, or go to my website. I think I'll drop, let me just drop the number. All right. So you need to, so that's the WhatsApp, the business WhatsApp line. So once you get there, just request for in fact, you see it in the catalog already, the Cruise to Cloud 9 and the 21 days communication journal. So I'm dropping the number and the WhatsApp, the business line right here for the 21 days communication journal and the Cruise to Cloud 9. All right. So I hope this has been of great value to you. Could you share your learnings? If you're still here, could you share your learnings? What did you learn? What did you learn? Or what struck you the most? Or what would you need more clarification about? What would you need to learn more about? Sorry, I'm trying to type it so that even those who are watching the replay can actually get to know about it. Okay? So Cruise to Cloud 9 and 21 days communication journal. They are very affordable. Right? Compared to, what the value you will get from it is for a lifetime. All right? So you want to invest in your marriage. You want to invest in what gives you a lifelong enjoyable marriage. All right? Okay, so that's it there. I just typed it there. Okay, and I've pinned it. All right? So yeah, if you're still here, let me know. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Prince. So I can see some other people live, but I can't see your comments. If you're here, please type in the comments. And if you're, let me know what you got. Did you get value? Was it worth your time? So communication has a lot to do with sex. Communication is everything. Communication is everything. It's the tool with which you use to get things done in your relationship. All right. And so if you're not getting results, then it means that you need to retweak some things. There was a time I was in a course, and she was saying that for you to arrive at 7, there are many ways to arrive at 7. Okay, or there are many ways to arrive at, let me use 6. Okay, you can either say 2 times 3, or you can say 3 plus 3, or you can say 8 minus 8 minus 2. All right, so there are many ways to arrive at intimacy and happiness in your marriage, if only you're willing to learn, if only you're willing to grow. All right, so thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Thank you. So if you also have not gotten Start Right, that's it over there. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, so if you've not gotten my book Start Right and you're in this community, you are wrong. You are wrong. You can see it up there. Yeah, Start Right. You need to have it, okay, so that we can thrive in our marriages right from the very beginning. You don't have to endure. You don't have to. What I mean by you don't have to. Marriage is to be enjoyed. All right, even when you're going through challenges, right, you can still enjoy your marriage once you know the right systems to put in place. Okay, once you know how to go about it. All right, and that's why, of course, this community exists. All right, so thank you so much. Please ensure that after today your sexual game is on point. All right, ensure that your sexual game is on point through communication. You need to learn to communicate. You need to learn to say what you want. Okay, I was responding to someone who shared about body language. Sometimes women were always giving the silent treatment. I used to be in that boat. We just be keeping quiet and boning and squeezing face. And sometimes if your husband want to prepare you, you will not even do as if he's not even seeing you. Do you understand? You're not as if he's not even seeing you. All right, and you'll be the one that gets more stressed. And so it is very important that you learn how to communicate and get your message out there. Say what you want. Don't even say what you don't want. Just say what you want. How do you want it? Say it. If you want your partner to suck your nipple, if that's the way that you get stimulated or you get turned on, then say it. Talk to your partner. If you want your partner to give you blowjob, to suck your penis, say it. Right, and walk through it. Give your partner time, especially if it's something that your partner is not even used to. Walk through it together. You can enjoy sex. And sex doesn't have to be boring. You don't have to be quiet during sex. You can be talking during sex. You can express and moan. There was an article that was shared sometime about how someone said that moaning is a sin, or something like that. Well, I've not seen that I've not seen that in the Bible that I read. All right. So that God has given you sex to enjoy. Please maximize it and make good use of it. All right. So thank you so much once again. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Please let's keep inviting people to this community so that they can learn. It may just be one word. It may be a sentence. It may be a video, because I've shared several videos here. It may be a video. It may be a text. It may be a post that somebody will just see and will get liberated. All right, our mission is to increase the number of genuinely happy and intimate marriages, right? Because there are many marriages that are just there. They're just there. All right, and they're not enjoying, they're not genuinely happy, and it's okay. What is not okay is if you remain there without learning, if you're stagnant without learning. There are many things you can learn. There are many things you can learn that would improve, or enhance intimacy and happiness in your marriage. My question is, are you open to it? Are you teachable? Are you willing? Are you ready to learn, evolve, and grow? All right? Thank you so much once again. Till I come your way next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep growing. Bye for now. Thank you so much, Prince Will. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. I saw some other people. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you. Do have a wonderful time. And don't forget, reach out through that WhatsApp line for the resources. We talked about learning, right? Learning, life is, we have to continue to learn, all right? And it's not just, we don't just learn about business, about finance, about other things. We learn about marriage, all right? We learn about marriage. You learn about how to make it even more sustainable and enjoyable. So thank you so much. Bye for now.